Hi everyone, I'd like to tell you about one of my favourite Ehub tools. It's Quizlet.com. I like it because it's value for time. I can create a quiz in about 5 minutes from my notes, and it gives my students a real performance boost before a knowledge-based assessment. This is the live map. It shows real people that are logged on doing Quizlets right now. Alright, let's get started. So you log in or you sign up for an account. It's free for the basic features, otherwise $15 a year. I'd like to show you how to create a set of study cards. So I start by clicking Create Set. Give your flashcard set a title. Add a description. Put in a subject. I'm going to use networking. This is important so that it hits the search engine. Other people might like to use your flashcards as well. You can allow or not allow set discussion. Now you make it visible to everyone so that anybody in the world can log on and use what you've created, or you can make it just for me or just for certain classes. Or you can even lock it down with a password. And you can also lock down who can edit this set of flashcards. So I'm going to leave it just on the defaults. The next step is to choose a language. I'm going to do mine in English and choose our language for the other side of the flashcard. I'm also going to do it in English. Now what I do is I push this onto half of the screen, this half, and grab my notes with the material that I want to present to my students, and I just line it up in 2 columns and I just copy and paste. Now here I want to add an image, so I'm just going to scroll up, click the Add Images button, which turns on the ability to locate my image file and upload an image, which I've got stored on my flash drive, and it's the router one. Now I actually like adding my data in manually, just so that I can check that it goes in the right way and adjust it as I go. There is a import data button here, and if you format your data in the right way with tabs, commas, or with custom symbols between one side of the flashcard and the other side of the flashcard, between the term and the definition of the term, you can import it straight into Quizlet. Cancel that import. Alright, we're done. That's a quiz. And to create the quiz, this is the magic button, click Create Set. Now what I've created is a set of flashcards, and here they are. I can display both sides and use the arrows to flick through them. There's my term, followed by the information that I want my students to remember about the term. Zoom through right through to the end is my symbols. Once they've gone through a few times, they can then turn off the both sides button and just look at the definitions and try and remember what the terms were. And then they can turn on term first and see if they can remember what the information about each term was. Now one of the best things about Quizlet.com is that it creates these 5 little study games. Now between the 5 games, every one of my students finds one that appeals to them and seems to learn and improve their marks by doing it. Start the game, and it scatters up the terms and the definitions, and you have to match them up. So here's the switch, and I drop it on the switch. Let's suppose I got it wrong and I dropped it on the wrong device, the router. It simply flicks back. When I drop it on the right device, it goes away. And segments the data stream, that's a function of the transport layer, so I drop it on that. Doesn't matter which way you do it. So this one, which adds a header with source and destination IP addresses, that's the internet layer, so I can drop it on that. You keep going until you're finished. Up here is the embed code. So I can copy that and plonk it straight into Moodle so that my students can access it directly. This is the space race game, also quite popular. The information is going to start flying across the page, and I've got to type the term in before it gets to the other side, otherwise I get killed. This is the switch. Do need to spell these correctly. This is the router. This is Internet Protocol. And you get the idea. We'll pause that and go back. Now the next one I'd like to show you is Learn Mode. So this is like a simple little test, and I read the description and type in what I think is the right answer. This looks like the internet layer, and it shows me that I got that correct. Now let's suppose I put in something that was slightly different. Segments the data stream as the transport layer, but I might just type in transport. This is going to show that it's an incorrect answer, but I can see that it's just a matter of how I avoided the answer, so I can override this and go, I was right. So this should avoid things like typos. This is test mode. And this is really brilliant. It takes the information that I've put in and automatically generates the simulated test. So what segments the data stream? That would be the transport layer. These buttons are also very useful. The print button creates a set of study notes. There they are. I can also export this. At the bottom of the page, here's the information that I put into the quiz listed as terms and definitions. Now I was quite surprised by this, but they have little audio symbols next to them, and some of my students quite enjoy listening to it, so they'll just sit here and play the audio. And that's it. There's a heck of a lot of value for not very much time on my part. Now to get this ready to give to students, I go into my dashboard. And here's the quiz that I just created, and I can create a class. Let's do that. I'll call my class the TCP/IP class. Create class. And then I can add a set to it. So I'll add the set that I've just created, this one, and then I can invite people to join my class. I can use this pre-approved invitation link and put it onto Moodle and make it very easy for my students to find this set of flashcards that I've created for them. It makes it easy for them to find their quiz. Let's have a look at one of my in-progress classes. So TCP/IP is my Cert 4 networking class. I can see that I've created a number of Quizlets in here for them to practice on. And there are 17 members in this class. And there they all are. For this student I can see which games he's been using to study. So study mode, which set he used, when he last studied them. And I've got some statistics down the bottom. Now before I finish, I'll just jump into features. Let's have a quick look at the search feature. So find sets, and let's suppose I wanted a set about computer hardware. And I can see that 486 flashcards about computer hardware have already been created, so I may not even need to create my own notes. I can leverage off somebody else's. That's it, folks. I hope you liked Quizlet.com. I enjoyed sharing it with you.